Hi everyone, Victoria here. Yes, I did a mad dash up the road to my friend Dorothy's place, and she lives on the ocean. I'll just show you. Hold on. Here we go. Turning you around. Beautiful spot we have here at Cowrie Point. So 5 minutes up the road, but then I had to turn the Wi-Fi on, find something to prop myself up with, and I might try and go that way. There we go. And that's it, but I can't do that. I'm not allowed to do that. The phone won't let me. So there we go. And I'll put you back so you don't see the kitchen. So how are you, everyone? Spiritual Wisdom Hour with Victoria Cochrane. I think that's a bit high. I'm just going to put you down on the bench. I know that's bad. Anyway, that'll do. Oh, hold on. I'll work this out. Here it is. Sorry, got to get myself together. That might be a little bit better. There we go. So, great to see everybody. Great to see Lisa, my friend. Jane, Janelle, welcome. Lorraine, lovely to see you all. And not blurry, no, because so I did a test run at 11:45 and it was still blurry. And so it's our internet. It's functional, but it's not great. So I've dashed up the road and there we go. I'll look at this end so you can see I'm looking at you. So I'm grossly unprepared today. So tell me what it is that you would like to know. Anything about spiritual wisdom, spiritual development, what's happening with awakening. There's certainly a lot of energy flying around at the moment, and a lot of things happening for a lot of people. Some people finding themselves at crossroads and things. So hi Yasmin, great to see you. In this Spiritual Wisdom Hour, I don't do personal readings. I just find them very draining, and I generally don't have time. But I do collective readings. So if anyone's got a question about anything, Lisa, you might have something, or Jane, or Janelle, anything about. I know Jane's been reading my books, so and Janelle. So perhaps there might be something in there that you've got a question. You're not getting the video to play. Oh, yeah, no, Aracely, that's a nice name. I'm not doing a general reading for individual people, sorry. I just can't do it, and it's not interesting for other people when you're just doing personal readings. But I am going to talk about things. Maybe Lise, turn it off and on again and just see if that works. All right, so let's start with reading with the Earth Power Oracle cards for everybody, because certainly some people are finding themselves a little bit in a bit of a shaky place, or not sure of the direction. Hi Ruth. Hi Ruth, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you got the books okay and that they helped. That's great, Janelle. Sonia, if people would like a reading, anybody who contacts me after my live will get 10% off, so actually $10 off. So instead of $60, it'll be $50. And I would love to do, I'm actually doing a lot of mediumship lately, and I would love to help people with that. But it takes a bit of time, and it can be a bit personal, and I prefer not to do it in front of a live audience. Isabella, lovely pink colour from the heart chakra during Reiki. Fantastic. Well, pink is the colour of love. I know green is the heart chakra, and that's the healing colour. But pink is the colour of love, and generally that's from Jesus. He quite often puts pink lotus flower in. So it would be interesting to know whether that was him. Generally it is. So it can either be love going in from you, from the Reiki, or it can be that person's love shining out. So hi Annette. yeah, so it's one or the other. But that's a beautiful, it's not, it's really not healing if it's green. If it's not green, if it's pink, it's more activation of that love and an opening of that chakra. So that's a beautiful thing to have seen. All right, so where are we? I'm just going to tune in to the collective, to people who are watching today. And asking, always ask for an unconditional love. Reading for the collective for the highest and best. So always working in the unconditional love. My husband always just chooses the wrong time to ring. So going to choose a card here. And it's just come out. Emai and Leshen, Mount Emai, I seek enlightenment. I am calmly above it all. The tangible and intangible meet within me. Okay, so we're all seeking enlightenment, really. We'd all love to be in mastery and to really have all the answers. And hi, Teresa. You're welcome, Isabella, no problem. They're the kinds of questions that I love answering. Yeah, but it can be so difficult. I am calmly above it all. Put your hand up if you're calmly above it all the time, and my hand's not going up either. It's really difficult, isn't it, to live in duality and in the world where there's so much terrorism and stuff going on, and to actually try and not get embroiled in all the drama and everything that's happening. Thank you for asking, Annette. No, not today. No, I don't do that. I know Angelina doesn't either. There are some of us on here doing our live shows who do. Good luck to them. I just find it really difficult. But I am doing I do have a special for Wednesdays, $10 off my reading, so $50 for half an hour. If you would like to book. Hi, Pete. Great to see you. So I'm Reaching Out Spiritual News with Victoria Cochrane on Facebook, and I have a page, victoriacochrane.com, or you can contact me through those channels. So, connection, meditation, keeping ourselves clear, keeping our chakras clear, keeping ourselves clear of people who are draining us. Hard if it's family, but sometimes it's just like protecting your energy and just making sure that you are not making yourself too available, trying to not listen to the news. However, yes, because it's all just is bombarding us, and they sensationalize everything. You can't believe a word they say, I don't think. And also, yes, it's all around us, but I deliberately just watch cooking shows. When I get sick of those, I watch reruns of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or you could put Netflix on, watch movies, or just turn it off. Look, someone said to me yesterday, I've got this beautiful story. Thanks, Annette. I've got this beautiful story. I'm in Lions Clubs International, so we have in the Rocky Cape Lions Club. And we had a big car show, and I was off delivering prizes yesterday, and I went to deliver a toolkit to an 80-year-old man. I don't think he really needs one, but he was very grateful. He invited me in to show me an amazing image that a crystal was projecting, and we ended up spending an hour, and he was talking about the Heart Project and all the things that are going on in the world and how distressing it is. And that's why I don't know about all those things. There's so much conspiracy going on, and it is true, it's going on, but really, is it worth us knowing about all that? Do I need to know all the ins and outs of that? Because the more we know about it, the more fearful we might become, and the more invested we'll become, and the more our energy becomes traceable. And so I'd rather just be sending light and love and the violet flame out to the world, and into the human collective consciousness and down to Mother Earth, down. Yeah, okay. You feel so drained all the time. That is a really good topic for us to look at. Thanks, Melanie. Yeah, so we really need to be, I think, mindful of how much we're investing in that kind of thing. Chemtrails, and they're all about us all the time. And so if I see one, then I'll send energy straight away. But I don't want to know who the perpetrators are or where it comes from or all of that. All I know is there is a lot of technology out there now that hooks into people and drains us and stops us, trying to stop us all from becoming enlightened. And the more under the radar we are, the better, really. So, you know, a lot of people are kind of worried about all that. I just, yeah, same love. Yeah, that's right. And so, you know, I did talk about this last week, about, you know, we can't actually send love to individuals. Oh, you can send love to anybody, but healing and, you know, to actually try to stop someone from doing something bad, whether it's from killing themselves with smoking to blowing up something or murdering someone, you're intervening against their free will. And so if they want help and they ask for it, fantastic. But if not, then we're intervening, and not even God can intervene. And that's why so many bad things happen in the world, because people make those decisions. And so when you ask for healing and for energy to be transmuted or for energy to be kind of changed, you need to ask for the innocence of the world to receive it. So they're the ones who have been intervened upon. And also ask for the law of grace, because that will help to transmute the karma. You can send archangels to do it, and therefore your energy is not in it at all. And you always ask in the highest and best way for the greater good, but also for your highest and best, so that it, you know, it doesn't affect you at all. So we're all healers, and everybody, that's right, we're all healers, and we all can be sending that energy and that beautiful pink love. We all can send that. But when we do that, we need to then zip up our aura and break the energy and make sure that we seal our aura again and ask for protection, because there are those out there that are tracking people who are sending energy, and that's a scary thing. But I'm not scared. I know that I can be protected from that. So it's not going to stop me from sending energy and stuff, but I'm certainly going to be vigilant with how I protect myself, and the things I say. I'm also always going through the Creator's energy. God, non-religiously, is unconditional love, and so therefore we're all protected when we're in that light. So, but staying above all that, you know, there are other things we can do too. Eating good food, getting enough sleep, protecting ourselves from, if we take on other people's energy, then we can actually get really drained. We can actually, too much stress and worry will make us sick. And then when we're sick, our defenses are down, and then a lot of things can attach to us. So it's about looking after ourselves too, and actually making sure that we're healthy, and that we're keeping in a positive light, and that we're putting out gratitude, and that we're thinking positively. And there's sometimes going to be negatives, but I heard something last week that for every negative, always follow it with a positive. So there's always a solution, even if there's some negative. Hi Lise, you're back, yay. Yes, you might need to say there's a negative, but then always follow it with a positive, and how we might be able to act. Thank you, Aracely. Grounding and protecting is great. Need to ground, be grounded all the time. I'm always grounding. Every time I'm connecting to tune into someone, I'm always grounding first. Even if I've done it 20 times that day, I'm always doing that. Angels and guides are always sending us messages, absolutely. So I've talked too about our angels are in the fifth plane, not the fifth, well they're higher than the fifth dimension, so they're in the fifth plane, and they do work in duality, but they're the closest energy that you can get to the Creator, and they do serve the Creator, and they work in so it's really important to still be connected to the Creator and to check the messages with the Creator and not just take them verbatim, particularly if they start talking about sacrifice or the greater good, or taking you into kind of, alien territory. You've always got to make sure it's for your highest and best and that your energy is protected. Yes, we want to send energy to the world and help the world, but we don't want to sacrifice our energy. We don't need to do that. Spirit guides are from the fourth plane and therefore shamanism. And if we're connecting to Great Aunt Betty or Grandma Josie, then that's all good. But always close the spirit world after you've been working. So yeah. Okay, so let's talk about free will too, Lorraine, because it's a bit of a touchy subject, and it's one that I'm very respectful of, because people are losing people, and it's very sad. But there is free will, and there's also things called soul contracts, and so some people's lives are ending because it's in their soul contract, even if they're quite young or they're not really elderly, and so sometimes if there is an accident and it wasn't ordained but the body is not going to be any good, then they'll just choose to leave, even if it's not their time. So death is always a choice, and that's a really hard thing to say to people who've lost children or anyone really. But sometimes there is no other way, because the body is never going to give quality of life. Sometimes the soul just gets scared, and or they lose their way. And so the free will in that kind of thing with your auntie, if she's in limbo, then perhaps she doesn't want to go, and she's scared to go, and she needs help, and she needs to be told that it's okay if she wants to leave, and perhaps call in Jesus and Archangel Raphael and just ask them to give her some counselling, or call in her loved ones who've passed over. Those kinds of things that we can help our loved ones if they're in limbo. I had a native Indian energy approach me the other night. I got freaked out and told him to go away because all this was new to me. However, now, this is really great. I want to experience that again. How can I ask to come back? Great. Awesome. So a lot of us have spirit totems, or we have spirit guides with us, and they do want to help. But there's levels of involvement, okay? So archangels are masters. They're omnipotent. And masters of light who've lived lives on earth, they've evolved and they've gained mastery. So they're there already. Even though they're working on the upper fifth plane, they're still there at mastery. Spirit guides, on the other hand, are working towards mastery. So they're still on a lower level of consciousness than angel guides and ones who've achieved mastery. So what they say is not always going to be 100% correct. I had someone say to me once, and I've never forgotten it, that when you work with spirits or spirit guides, it's kind of working with part of the elephant. So you get 3/4 of the body and 3 legs and a trunk and 1 ear and half a tail, and it's not exactly the whole elephant. The thing to do is to connect to the Creator, which I'll do again today, because I just there's no patent on connecting to God, connecting to Creator's light, and then you can just go to the fourth plane and connect to your spirit guide and call him in, and then you won't be bound by the laws. Great, Lorraine. Won't be bound by the laws of the vows and commitments of those planes. So let me talk about those again for those of you who haven't heard me talk about those before. And I am an advanced theta healer, so that's how I've learned it through Vianna Stible's teachings. And I'm not a theta healing teacher. Who's the creator? Okay, so we live in 7 planes of existence. There's not just heaven and earth. We live in 7 planes of existence. I don't follow organised religion either, so I'm not talking religion at all. Okay, no religion. So the first plane are the minerals and non-living material, and then the second planes are the plants and the vitamins and the Diva Kingdom. Third plane's earth, carbon, animals. Fourth plane is the spirit world. Fifth, and it has many dimensions and many levels to it. The fifth plane is divided into lower and upper, and never go to the lower, just go to the upper, and that's the Masters of Light and the Archangels and the Angels Garden and the Temples of Light. And then the sixth plane are the laws and the Akashic Records, and the seventh plane is the Creator, which is the source of creation. So we call it source. It is creation. So it's unconditional love, unconditional truth, and white light. That's so it's not, God is not a being. God is, we're all one with the Creator. So we are co-creators. We are creators ourselves. So it is that energy that we're creating with unconditional love. So when we're creating in that energy of unconditional love, there's no conditions, okay? So there's not going to be any trading of energy, no sacrifice of energy, no way of giving away power, anything like that, okay? So it's beautiful light and love. And when we create in that energy, we create beautiful things. But you can create bad things in that energy too if you have that intention, because everything is with intent, you see. So, but Creator is not God in the sense that religion teaches. There's no conditions, so there's no Bible, there's no doctrine, there's just love. Love just is, everything just is. There's no duality, there's no good and bad, there's no... there's nothing like that, okay? So every other plane of existence has vows and commitments that involve a trading or sacrifice of energy. And so when we work in those planes without connecting to the Creator first, we can be drained, really drained. We can sacrifice our energy, give away our power, and actually even lose some senses or things. I know someone who was attuned to Reiki once, and not so long ago, and she has lost her hearing. Now Reiki is shamanic energy, beautiful healing energy, but if we're connecting to spirits and we don't know who we're talking to, then we're hooking into those vows and commitments. It's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, I have to die a little death to be close to God, and all these things that are ghastly. And so it's not about praying to God and having to be forgiven. We don't have to be forgiven for anything, because we're all one, we're all co-creators, and we're all one and the same. So in that energy, then, when we create something that's of a much higher vibration and is not going to attract any... it's in your thoughts and actions that we connect to the Creator, absolutely. And where we just, it's as simple as holding the intention of connecting to the unconditional love of the seventh plane or the Creator to do a reading or to do a Reiki healing or to visit someone who's elderly and to give them some love and healing, if they so. And if you don't know if they want it, you just, if they so wish, and then if they don't want it, then you've got that leeway. So, you know, it's not about heaven and earth. It's about those levels of vibration and consciousness that all have vows and commitments with them, except for the source, which embraces everything. And we work in those all at the same time. I'm using cards. I'm using the sixth plane. I'm also using the fourth plane. I'm drinking water, so I'm using the first plane. You know, I'm breathing air. That's the first plane. You know, we're all connected to all the planes all the time, but it's with intention. It's with the intention of how we do it, and whether we do it with malicious intent, then that's not unconditional love. And you know, just briefly, when you hear people who are doing things in the name of religion or God that's to harm other people, is that unconditional? No. You know, so that's the energy that I'm talking about. So when you hold the intention that you're going to connect to your spirit guide or your totem guide through the energy of the Creator. I'm laughing because my husband keeps texting me and I cannot talk to him now until I finish this. So and it's all lion stuff. Oh, lions, we love it, but it's and we're volunteers, but it takes up a lot of our time. So even meditating, ground, connect to the Creator. You just go up and you see the beautiful light. If you go into the light of your heart space and see a beautiful white light there, and then bring that up around you, because we're all one, that is the Creator's light as well. So just being in that unconditional space, and not expecting anything in return, not wanting. I mean, yes, we need an exchange of energy. Okay, there's another thing too, but it's like, how can I explain it? When you connect to the Creator and you're sending love, I'm not going to be expecting an exchange of energy, but if I'm helping someone from the heart, then a smile or a thank you would be enough for me, you know. So when I'm working with someone and I'm doing a reading, then as long as I'm charging enough that satisfies me and satisfies them, that's an equal exchange of energy, because there is a law of equal exchange. Anyway, but as far as just sending love to the world, we have no expectations around that. We just send it and then let it go and ask for it to be done in the highest and best way, and ask the masters to witness it or ask the archangels to witness it. I've got to just find my glasses, sorry, so I can read the comments properly. Just get rid of a few things on this screen. Oh, go away. Back off there. I'm a shamanic ritual dancer, and it was after I finished meditating, that's when okay. I quite often see them, usually see them standing behind. I usually see them standing behind. So when I tune in to do mediumship and bring in someone who's passed over, I'll just connect to the Creator first, and I'll ask for an unconditional love fourth plane reading, and that's how I've been taught to do it. And then I remote view over the person, and I always look to the person's left, which is my right, and they come in behind the person. If I see archangels, they're always behind the person. So generally they'll be behind you. They'll always be behind you, or sometimes beside you, but not generally in front. But that doesn't mean there's a hard and fast rule about that. So what you can do if he presents himself again is just ask to speak to him in the energy of unconditional love. You know, it's not difficult. We don't need to make it difficult. We just need to hold that intention and then just bring that light in. Just imagine, so when you visualize it is, when you intended it is, we're very powerful co-creators. When what we think we create, what we see we create, you know. So that's why when we're in that unconditional love of the Creator, we're creating with no conditions, but we need to be really careful about what we're creating and what we're thinking and how positive or negative or how mindful we are of the energy that we're sending. That's the biggest tip I can give you as to keeping yourself clear. So when I attune people to Reiki, I teach them to do it through the seventh plane. I just can't not do that. But my husband is attuned to Reiki, best thing I ever did, and he puts his hands on me and the Reiki comes. But because he's giving it to me with no conditions, then he's in that energy of unconditional love anyway. You know, so that's kind of the way it works. But when you start to be in that energy, then that is how we can rise above all of this, because our guides come in, our spirit guides, but also our archangel guides and our masters, the Creator, and we start to feel connected. And it's disconnection that can bring us really down into drama and that kind of thing. And we also start to know that we're not alone, and we also know that we're powerful spiritual beings that actually have a lot of power and a lot of influence over what happens in the world. And so then we're not going to feel like everything's hopeless, which it isn't. So I hope that really helps. Just hi Angie, great to see you. And so let's choose another Earth Power Oracle card and see in talking. Oh, here's one sticking out. Cathedral of Notre Dame. After we've just talked about not being in the energy of religion. But this is the feminine divine is alive in all spiritual practices. Places of power remain places of power. I am full of love and tolerance. So we can be anywhere to connect. We don't have to be in church. We don't have to be, you know, I've done it driving the car when I've seen a chemtrail in the sky and I just, you know, connect. And or when an ambulance goes past, I just send Archangel Michael. I say, blessings, Michael. He knows that he then will go and help that person, and if they don't want it, he won't. So, you know, we should feel empowered wherever we are. I've been to Europe once and into some of those churches, and some of them are incredibly amazing. You know, the energy of love that's in them. Others are horrible. So, you know, it depends on the energy of the people in them and the intention behind the building and all that kind of thing. And actually, you know, some of us are not feeling empowered at the moment to bring in the Creator and to actually be able to send love or healing. Some of us are messes and can't even heal ourselves. Well, then church is probably a good place, to be honest, because it's the people there that look after you and are really caring. So belief shouldn't have anything to do with how we treat each other or how we look after each other or anything. You know, I have a lot of beautiful friends who are really Christian, and they've come to know what I do and they respect me too. And so, you know, we should all just be tolerant of each other no matter what we believe or where we are. And but also feeling that we're all one. If we know that, then that just builds a lot more tolerance, doesn't it? And one more. Oh, I actually haven't seen this one for a long time. I am forgiven, I forgive. The place of refuge. Actually, so it's kind of a, I'm forgiven, I forgive, that kind of joins in and makes it all one. But in the energy of oneness, there's nothing to forgive, even if we've done something dastardly and awful in the world. It's all towards learning lessons and enlightenment, even though it might take us another 1,000 lifetimes to get there. All paths lead to the light. In the energy of oneness, it's all one gradient. It's not good and bad or dark or light. And we've all been through the darkness of the occult and, you know, the past lifetimes that we've had. We've learned a lot of horrid lessons. And so now, you know, I'm seeing this lifetime as, for most people, they're actually resolving their karma and resolving their lessons and actually stepping in onto that path of spiritual purpose and enlightenment, and actually really starting to step up in their consciousness. And the more people that do that, the better off the world's going to be anyway. So, you know, we're not knocking religion. We need to go through that journey to understand that we don't need to sacrifice our energy, and that we're not lesser, that we're all one and the same. And that when we know that, then the world will be a much nicer place. Okay, so let's do a meditation, and I'm going to call in an archangel. I might pull a card, an archangel card, and see who comes up. And I'm looking down at my basket and I'm thinking, oh dear, because it's a mess, and I might have to dig for my archangel card, because I travel in and out to my room. And here we go. All right, so that wasn't too bad. All right, ancestors, just seeing that message, ancestors, they have a lot of shamanic energy and may even have second plane energy. I don't know. There's a lot of trading of energy in when you work with ancestors and things. And you know, I don't care what anyone says. They're caretakers of the land, but no one owns the land. No one. The Mother Earth is. We're camping, really. You know. But no one owns the land at all. But there's a lot of kind of very, I feel like saying guttural energy, or very kind of dense energy within ancestral energy, and some quite nasty energy too. And so I'd be very careful about working in any of that energy unless you're connected to unconditional love of the Creator and are well protected. Okay, let's call in the Archangel who's working with us today, who's going to lead us on a meditation. Archangel Jeremiah, everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings you will soon understand. So this is for everyone. So generally we're working in divine timing. We have a soul contract and life purpose, and we've chosen lessons that we're going to learn, and they can be quite distressing and stressful lessons as well. But generally there are no coincidences, and things happen everything happens for a reason, and we're on our path. And so if you don't feel you are, or things have kind of gone pear-shaped, then you know, it's time to kind of do a bit of a review and see what your heart is really telling you and what your soul is really leading you to do. But this is just a beautiful card just to tell us all that all is well. And Archangel Jeremiah is not one that I work with very often, but I'm going to call him in and ask him to lead us on a meditation, either take us to a temple of light or whatever. But the first thing I'm going to do is to show you how I go to the unconditional love of the Creator, so that we're all protected. I call in the 4 archangels of direction, and they're Michael, Uriel, Gabriel and Raphael, and I bring them into my space because I trust them implicitly, and I ask them to keep my energy clear and keep the room clear until the meditation or healing session is finished. And then I ground my energy, just push it down, all the way down into the ground. I do it quite quickly, and then bring it and just spread my light roots down there, bring it back up, all the way up to the top of my crown, and then I jump up to the Creator. But what you can do is just ask the Creator's light to come down to you. So really the Creator is in us, but we just say that he's up above our heads, but really he's not, he or she, because it's Mother, Father. So just imagine your light going up or Creator's light coming down, and they're one and the same, and then coming all the way down, and you can breathe it down into your heart space and around you. And if you can't see, just feel or imagine that beautiful energy and hold the intention of being in the 7th plane of existence, in the unconditional love of the Creator. It's unconditional love, it's white light, pearly, sparkly light. There are no people, no colours. So if you see anything like that, just take yourself a little bit higher, just breathe in, go higher, and just hold the intention again of being in that unconditional love in the 7th plane. And holding the intention of an unconditional love meditation today, bringing in Archangel Jeremiah to lead us in a meditation to help us to connect to our guides in a safe way, and to give us the messages that we need. And I'm seeing him, and he's golden, he's beautiful, and he is actually in front of me. So isn't that interesting? I'm actually seeing him in front of me, but generally if I'm looking at other people, I'll see them behind, but at the moment I'm seeing him in front of me. So there he is, and I always say treat the masters very reverently and give thanks for them being here, and ask them to ask Archangel Jeremiah to lead us in this meditation for our highest and best, and for the highest and best of the collective. And he would like to take us to a temple of light, and I just had that feeling. And it's called the Temple of Restitution, and I haven't ever heard of that one before. And I'm asking the Creator if this is for our highest and best, and he says yes. So that's how I check, just to make sure. And then just, we don't have to actually physically or really kind of work on going anywhere. I'm now seeing a golden temple around me, but I'm holding the intention it's around all of us, around everyone who's watching. And it's magnificent, but it's not ostentatious, if you know what I mean. And I'm walking within, and there's a white throne-like chair which I'm being invited to sit in. So you're all being invited to sit in a white throne-like chair as your Archangel Jeremiah's guest of honor. In this space, he is going to do some healing, but also there's a screen. It's like a movie screen. I get the feeling that he's going to show all of you a bit of a slideshow or a movie around your ancestors. But if you can't see that, then I'm asking him to give you that in a different form, like a knowing, in your heart space. And the gold, he tells me, represents our Christ consciousness and our higher self. So this is our knowing. So sitting in this temple will actually connect you to your higher self if you don't know how to do that. And that's why the TV screen is there. But also I'm asking him how he's going to show people their ancestry or their connection to their guides if they don't have the gift of clairvoyance. So in your mind, visualize, if you're not clairvoyant, visualize a screen. And on that screen, it's like just seeing, if you read a book and you get a picture of what's happening, it's like that, or seeing a white screen just appear before you, and your guide or a name will just come up on that. The other thing, if you're good at automatic writing, pick up a pen now and the name will come to you. So he says, in this energy, once you have connected to the Creator, in the Temple of Restitution, which is my temple, but also Archangel Jeremiah's temple, but also the connection to your higher self, the knowing, your spiritual wisdom and knowing will be much stronger. He invites you to enter this temple at any time. Surround yourself with the golden light of your higher self, connection to the Creator, and in this energy, connecting to your spirit guides is safe and will be stronger and more beneficial. So I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to see if any of these techniques we've talked about, visualizing, automatic writing, or just knowing, work for you, and I'd love some comments. And I'm just going to choose another card while you're doing that, knowing that you're safe and protected, surrounded by the 4 archangels of direction, connected to the Creator. And I don't know if anyone else is seeing rainbows, but I've just seen rainbows. Not out here, in here. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Fantastic. That's great, Lorraine. She says, I'm seeing my grandfather as a young man in a field. Beautiful. See, I haven't done this before. Archangel Jeremiah's just come in to do this, and this is wonderful. If this is helping all of you, I'm really happy. Oh, just dropped my card. Love your home. This is not my home, Annette. I did a previous video before this one to test out my internet connection, and I was at home and it was terrible, so I came to my friend's home. So I'm at Dorothy's at the moment. She's away, but she's allowed me to use her internet, so thank you. I wonder how other people are going. We're in Archangel Jeremiah's temple. He calls it the Temple of Restitution, and it's all golden, and it's the link to your higher self, where you can actually connect to your loved ones or your spirit guides in a safe way. He tells me that if you haven't connected to the Creator before you do that, he'll ensure that happens. So you just call him in when you do that. And I'm really grateful, and so thank you to Archangel Jeremiah. And this is the all is well. So he makes sure that all is well for you when you're connecting to your loved ones, which I've explained to you is fourth plane, which does have some nasty vows and commitments and trading and sacrifice of energy. So that's why we're doing it this way. My auntie's name is Dorothy, who is in limbo. Oh wow, that gives me goosebumps. So I'm just sending Jesus to your lovely Auntie Dorothy, just to give her some advice and to let her know that she's loved and safe. I'm seeing lots of people, but so fast I can't make out anything but faces. Mel says that. So then you always have control, so you can just ask that you are shown the one that is the most relevant to your question, or that it slows down. We're co-creators, so just command that it slows down so that you can see it slower. Just take control of that. Yeah, that's good, Lorraine. Keep in touch. Sending love and light to your beautiful Auntie Dorothy. The last card that I pulled was I am sacred. Mount Kailash, I am sacred, I am divine, I have humility, I can start anew. And that's really lovely, because we're all co-creators, and we can change our perceptions and our thoughts, and we can change our reality, and we are more powerful than we know. And so we're like a mountain, we're always there, but things can be hidden by the snow or by the fog, or sometimes we don't have clarity. But we are very powerful, and so we can change. But mountains don't actually move, but they can change their appearance through the snow. I don't know. To me, it's more about we've got a lot of hidden power that we don't actually access. So was mine, and eyes moving around when eyes closed. Wow, fantastic. People, it's just been a beautiful session today, and thank you all for your love and support and comments, and I hope if you're watching this later that you've enjoyed it as well. I'm Victoria Cochrane, victoriacochrane.com. I have 3 books and a DVD out. I'm writing my 4th book. It's going to take a while, I think. I have a channelings blog, victoriacochrane44.com. I'm on Facebook as Reaching Out Spiritual News with Victoria Cochrane. I'm also on Instagram, and I have just done the Spiritual Wisdom Hour. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you would like a reading, please get in touch. It'll be $10 off, so $50 instead of $60. Fantastic, Lorraine. When we ask, it's given. So always, it will happen straight away, but always ask for the highest and best for that person, and then it will happen in that best energy. So lots of love to you all. I'll see you at the same time next week, Wednesday, 12 noon, for the Spiritual Wisdom Hour. Bye for now.